So about 2 years ago, I made a video comparing the 168 grain Sierra Match King and the 168 grain Hornady Match Boattail Hollow Point in 308. Our test powder was IMR 4895 and the groups were awesome. Now at the time, the plan was to test more powders with these bullets, and I've got plenty of them to do so, but I never made any more progress on that project. It just got added to the list of all of the other crap I've failed to finish here on the channel. But today we're going to start changing that, kinda. We're going to basically run the exact same test, and this time we're going to use Alliant AR comp. Here's our load data. I've got Lapua Palma brass that uses small rifle primers. So we're going to be shooting CCI 41 primers. And for charge weights, I'm going a little bit higher than I probably should. Sierra's data for this powder shows a max charge of 43.9 grains. But over on the Alliant website, they have data for both of these bullets, and the Sierra is 42.2 and the Hornady is 41.7 max. So I'm going to go with Sierra's higher charge weight and make that our max charge for today. So I might run into pressure problems, or even if I don't, this may be a pretty high pressure situation in whatever components you're using. So just make sure you add some additional research into whatever the results of today's video happen to be. Overall length, we're going to go with 2.8 inches with both of them. Standard 2.8 inch overall length. And in my Krieger barrel, that has both of these bullets nestled up nicely near the land. So the Sierra Match King has 30 thousandths of jump and the Hornady has about 60. So that's pretty much it. We need to start out by resizing our brass. Now this is a perfect example of what a mess I let my reloading world become. Like all of these started projects, too many things going on, not taking thorough enough notes. Well, this brass has already been resized. I pulled out my Hornady headspace comparator, started trying to get a number. All of these are at 1.621 or 1.622. But my fired brass out of this same box is right about 1.624 or 1.625. So the brass has been bumped just right, about 2.5 or 3 thousandths. The other dead giveaway is if you try and put a bullet in, looks like that. Yep, neck's ready for a bullet. So I just wasted some lube that I now need to wipe off, put a quick chamfer on the case mouth, or just freshen up what's already there so that our bullet seating goes smoothly, and we're ready for some primers. All right, so the target is at 100 yards. This above is the Shot Marker electronic target system. This rifle is an Aero Precision M5E1 setup with a Krieger barrel. I always forget the specs on the Krieger barrel. I'll put them like right here right now. I think it's 1 in 11 twist. The scope is a Vortex Viper PST. Gen 1, 6 to 24 will be on 24 power today. Recording velocities with the lab radar chronograph, and I think that's pretty much it. Now I did shoot a couple shots to get the scope zeroed and the gun warmed up, and these velocities are going to be much higher than they were in the last video we made with these bullets with IMR 4895. That 23 grain test load was coming in at around 2,750 feet per second, and we're going about a full grain of powder above that. So we'll see. I don't know. The brass looked good. So we're starting out with the Hornady bullet, and the first charge weight is 42.4 grains. I think Shot Marker is lying to us just a little bit. So earlier, whenever I was sighting in my scope, I was having these sensor warnings. It's like we only got one on that 5th shot, the last shot. I'll insert a picture of the group here so you can maybe see what I'm talking about. It's like that 5th shot, the one that gave me the error, just went a little bit higher and to the right than it was supposed to. But hey, pretty darn close. I'll measure it by hand and put that number here as well. But yeah, Shot Marker says 0.84 inches. Oh, the velocity numbers look awesome as well. 2708, standard deviation 3.0, extreme spread of 8.0. Very good start. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and get a new cable for that bottom left sensor on the Shot Marker and see if we can get rid of that problem. Okay, the new cable is in place. So let's move on to 42.8 grains, but I need to skip a dot. So the second dot in this row is the one I used to sight in my scope. And I want to make sure I have a blank piece of paper where I can see if the shot marker is telling us the truth. So I'm going to jump over to the third dot. Let's see what happens. Well, looks good through the scope. All right, did we get any shot marker alarms? Nope, no errors, and it's given a 5-star quality rating on our measurement. Okay, good. Yeah, and comparing it to what I see, it looks really, really close as well. All right, hopefully we don't have to worry about that anymore. 0.72 inch group. So the brass looks good. Our velocity was 2727. Standard deviation 8.2. And AR comp always seems to give good SD numbers. Okay, 43.1 grains is next. Oh yeah. Holy crap. 0.42 inches. Man, and I'm watching the velocities come in. It's all like 2749, 2751, 2751, 2754 now. Like this SD is probably going to be tiny. All right, so that was 2753, standard deviation 2.9, extreme spread 8. Just awesome, 0.42. Okay, 43.5 is next. It opened up a little, but that's still a pretty good group. What was that, 0.70. Velocity 2773, SD of 9.5. The brass still looks good. Definitely getting a little bit of ejector smearing, but kind of been getting a little bit of that all the way as we've gone here. And the gun's a bit overgassed as well, so, you know, that's the more likely culprit. But, all right, we got one more to go. You have to think it's going to be right at 2,800 feet per second. 43.9. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, since we had to skip that one dot. I'm going to shoot this next group at this same dot. Yeah, there we go. So, next group coming right in on top of that one. Hopefully. Well, crap. That last shot felt good, and it definitely went low on paper as well. That's okay. I mean, the 10-shot group I'm looking at down there that includes all of these, I mean, it's just a big old hole in the paper. Where were we at before I shot this one? Wow, 0.35 inches for the first 4. That's okay. Not going to let myself be disappointed by that target. That is some really, really good stuff. Like, what a great combo. 2789 with another great standard deviation of 8.7. Man, that's good stuff. Still need to grab the brass though. So the brass definitely got a little bit of a workout, but nothing scary. Nothing too bad at all. Let's see, how hot's the gun? See, I get to shoot in small groups and I generally end up shooting pretty fast. So I didn't really get it too hot. I'll take a little break anyway. So now if we go back to the target we shot with these bullets before, the Sierra was the better shooter. So what are we about to see here? First up is 42.4 grains. That's not a bad start. 0.62 inches, velocity 2710, standard deviation 7.8. Okay, next is 42.8. That shot felt good. Yeah, those felt like good shots. Standard deviation 3.1 and an extreme spread of 8. Good grief. Okay, next up, 43.1. Don't screw it up. Looks good through the scope. Oh yeah, 0.39 inches. What in the hell is going on with these Match Kings? It is so weird. Velocity 2755, standard deviation 7. Nothing but good stuff right there. So I don't think I specifically mentioned the weather today. It is a perfect day for shooting groups. Totally calm. Totally calm. Temperature in the mid 70s. So let's not waste the good conditions. 43.5 grains is next. All of them in the same hole. Another one that looks good. 0.47. Man, these Sierras are freaking me out. Like this point of impact kind of moving, and it wants to shoot. It's trying to shoot, but we're definitely in a bad area, right? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm saying like we should be able to load ourselves out of this sort of volatility, I think. Yeah, 0.47 inches, velocity 2780. Standard deviation 7.7. Okay, one final group. 43.9 grains. Better stay zoomed out a little bit. Don't know where the point of impact's going to go next. I don't know what shot marker sees right now, but I see one hole that hasn't really got much bigger yet. Yeah, that's another good one. 0.33. Wow. Wow. This Krieger barrel just continues to blow my mind. Like, it's ridiculous that this sort of precision is possible with a magazine-fed AR-10. And of course, just to show us how stupid reloading is, our best group of the day here, 0.33 inches, has the worst standard deviation of the day at 10.0. 10.0 is still pretty darn good. Velocity was 27.97. Man, what a great combo. All right, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna pack up. Let's go back to the bench. So we definitely had some smearing on the case heads pretty much all day with all of the charge weights. Let's see if I can find one here that's particularly prominent. Yeah, but we're not getting any burrs. I do have the JP high pressure bolt that's supposed to help a bit with this, but an AR-10 is a rough place to live. So additional work with my adjustable gas block and my JP adjustable buffer spring setup would probably be more effective at cleaning this up than anything reloading related. So I don't think I could be any happier coming out of this test. I mean, this is the best shooting we've done with the AR-10 since I got one. I mean, the Krieger barrel is still pretty new, and it's shot pretty much everything we've fed it so far. You know, shot pretty well, but I think this is the best. So the Hornady definitely improved from that last test with IMR 4895. These groups were smaller and more consistent, but the Sierra results were most interesting, right? Those last three groups are just insanely small, but our point of impact is moving. We've got that crappy second group where it wasn't even trying to group. So I think this is a great opportunity to explore some things. If you're not watching the other videos I've been putting out recently with the 75 grain Hornady Bowtail hollow point in 223, we're trying a few new things. Like the last video was some overall length testing that got really interesting. And I'd love to run that same test on this Sierra bullet with AR comp. Like I had mentioned on the range, I think when we have a situation like this where we've got more volatility than we would like, we've got more point of impact shifting going on than we'd like, but at the same time, the bullet's clearly trying to shoot, like we should be able to work with this load and get it into a more consistent and forgivable range, whether that just means tweaking overall length or neck tension or whatever. I think it'll be fun to come back and explore that a bit more. Also, you know, like, so maybe with the Hornady, or well, both of them to be honest, you know, so we've got very small standard deviations, so very consistent velocities. So this might be also a good combination to explore the whole concept of velocity nodes and things like that, or whatever. You know, lots of cool concepts that we've just never really covered here on my channel, and I definitely want to. So that's it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back to the 308 here pretty soon, because I like shooting small groups like we did today. All right, that's it. See you guys next time.